Okay, this is part 2 of the HP TX1000 entertainment tablet notebook PC from HP. In part 1 we looked at the exterior of it and what comes in the box with it. Now we're going to open it up and look at some of the functionality inside and some of the hardware components that are under the monitor here. So we'll open our latch, pull up here. I got it open in YouTube right now, so we'll just close that out. Close out this other window. Okay. Now, let's see where we are. So to start with, we have their keyboard right here. Their touchpad on the TX series is a little different from your normal touchpad. This is built into the surface of the case, and it's got all these little bumps right here, and so it has a little bit of a different feel. And I think this is sometimes also referred to as a trackpad by HP instead of a touchpad. And speaking of the touchpad technology, they always have their dedicated enabled, disabled button here for your touchpad, so you can be able to disable the touchpad when you don't want to use it. And that's very useful if you've got an external mouse and you're doing gaming or something and you don't want your wrist inadvertently moving the mouse around. And let's see, up in the corner we have the volume controls, the volume down, volume up, and mute. And then on the TX though, they don't use any touch sensitive buttons. These are all just regular push style buttons they're using on here. We pan up to the monitor, have a look at that. Zoom in here a little bit and get it better adjusted. And here we have our 12.1 inch WXGA display with the touchscreen capabilities. I'll show that in a minute. Over here we have our fingerprint reader. So you can use this to log in to websites just by bringing your finger across it, and then the computer will retrieve your account information, knowing who you are based on your fingerprint, and then be able to automatically input that information into the appropriate field. And then you can also use this to log in to Windows if you don't want to have to enter your password manually. Just swipe it. It recognizes my fingerprint and brings up the menu, so now I'm authorized. And that was a small example of the touchscreen I just did there too. And on the side here we have some of HP's quick play buttons and other functions. Down at the bottom, this one here is to rotate the screen. So even in this mode right now, I can press that and I can change the current orientation of the screen. I go all the way back 360. The one next to it here, I push that. That brings up Windows Mobility Center. So I can use this to control volume, the battery, the performance settings, screen brightness, many factors right from this window right here. And then the ones on the side here, we have our quick play button. This will launch HP's quick play software for handling all your media. Then you've got the DVD button, which will go directly to the DVD part of quick play if you want to watch a DVD movie. And come back up a little bit more. And up at the top here, we have our webcam plus our dual stereo microphones, so you get a little bit better audio quality when using the webcam in video chat or video mail or whatever you might be using. Now comes the fun part. We get to take a look at the TX1000's tablet functionality. Just in case nobody's noticed, you got your status indicators right here too for power and hard drive and power activity. Now, This kind of tablet from HP is a convertible tablet. Now what that means is the computer itself can be used in 3 different modes. You've got the normal laptop mode as it is now, where you've got your monitor and your keyboard situated like a normal notebook computer. The second mode is, and of course also being a convertible tablet, this screen is able to swivel, and you need that if you want to make it into a tablet. The second mode, we turn the screen around just like this, and now you've got presentation mode. So it's not folded back, but it's been turned all the way around, so you can watch your movies and stuff and have the keyboard back away from you. The other neat thing is the Altec Lansing speakers are with the monitor. So whichever way you rotate this screen, the speakers will always be pointed at you. So the sound will never be off in one direction while the screen is being seen in another. So that's a nifty feature with this. And then finally, the third mode is the tablet mode. And as you can see, when we put it in the tablet mode, it would automatically change the orientation of the screen. We'll zoom in here. And the default one is for a right-handed writing style. So you would be holding this with your left hand, and then you would be clenching onto the battery from the other side using your pen with your right hand. And of course, if you wanted to use it left-handed, you can change the screen orientation like I was doing before with the button, and that will reverse it the other way, and you can use it that way. Now get the pen out here. Now, with the TX1000s, they use a passive touchscreen. So what this means is, unlike the difference between a passive and an active is, with an active, you've got an actual digitizer system under here. So I'd be able to move the mouse with just touching my finger on it. But as you can see, the mouse pointer right here is not going anywhere. It needs a solid push down on it, which means you either have to use the stylus pen or you use your fingernail. So you can't just do it like that. The newer TX models like the 2000s or the 2500Zs do have active digitizers in them. Plus that allows them to have a different kind of pen from this. This is just a regular stylus. And of course, the nice thing with the touchscreen, you'd be able to have it like this, and you can hold it up in your hands. Be able to go through all your programs just with a couple pen clicks. I'm trying to bring it into MS Paint here to show some of the drawing features. In fact, I need to recalibrate the LCD, or I need to recalibrate the touchscreen because I can tell the pen is a little bit off on the responses. You see, I'm trying to get to accessories, and I'm not clicking on accessories. I'm clicking about 3 lines above it. So that tells me that the calibration is out of place a little bit. If I can get to Paint. Okay. Now we're in Paint. So now with something like Paint, or if you're doing any other kind of drawing program, tablet PCs make it a little bit easier to do all your drawings. So you can just doodle, anything like that. Makes it very handy for drawing especially. Other than that, the TX1000 itself is pretty unique in that regard. So, and when you're done, just put your stylus away. I should also mention that in that box there's a little lanyard that you can put on here, but most people generally don't use that because it tends to get in the way. And when you're done, you just fold it up, and it automatically restores the original screen orientation when you do that. It's very handy. Then you can just flip it back. Now you're back in your laptop mode. And you're done. So that is the TX1000.